It is so exhausting. I kind of thought when I was talking to Corey last week, Corey said, he gets tired just like everybody else. He just does a better job of hiding it. I don't know that I believe that anymore after watching what I watch. I don't think he gets tired because Rogan said when he watches him, he watches the belly, right? You know, when you run or when you grapple or you wrestle, you're like heavy breathing and your stomach's like in and out and in and out. Merab's isn't doing that. And when I watched it in between rounds, I'm like, well, he's not tired. He's in the shape that is advertised. I know it sounds impossible, but it is. And I believe without a shadow of a doubt, look, man, all credit to the greats. Dominic Cruz being the one that I believe was the greatest bantamweight of all time by far when you combine everything he did in the WEC and everything he did in the UFC. There is no doubt in my mind that Merab Dvalishvili is the greatest bantamweight that has ever fought in the UFC.
You know who I think beats Merab? Merab beats Merab.
Yeah.
I think
Father Time beats Merab.
I think Merab's got to get injured. He's got to have a bad camp. He's got to still go through with the fight, not do as much cardio work as he wanted to, or get lazy in his diet, or get lazy in his prep work, which is crazy because he's working all year round. And that is what gets him. I don't think, otherwise no one else can. No, there's, because any skill deficiencies he has, he covers with extreme cardio and stamina.
You know, a lot of people attribute, and we do have to be careful with this, we attribute Merab's success to this insane cardio and his cardio. But when you talk to the people who know him, he's got great cardio, but it's his comfortability. It's him being comfortable and never panicking, never wasting a movement or any energy on panic. And that's really where people get tired, is that they panic and they get uncomfortable, and discomfort sets in to where they start making mistakes, and then just it snowballs down after that. But being comfortable really is a key to a lot of your problems, just being able to have a level of comfort where you can fight despite whatever the distractions are or whatever the threat is, just being comfortable. And Merab has that, and he does that better than anybody in MMA right now.
Well, here's the thing. You can have great cardio, but there's also something to be said about his anaerobic, meaning that he's able to grab somebody and then the isometric strength and then being able to take him down and then hold him down and do different and beat up on him, get up and do it again. Like, for example, a cross-country runner or a triathlete or an Ironman runner, they have great cardio because they set a pace, right? You set a pace for a 4-mile run or a 5-mile run, whatever it may be, but there's no ramping up. There's none of this. It stays consistent the whole entire time. That's great cardio. But when you have somebody who's able to have good cardio and then sprint and come back down to a level right here and sprint, that's his anaerobic, isometric, and his cardio, all three working together. That's what that is. Because there's a lot of people out there who have great cardio, but they're not as effective. They're not as, the output, the wattage, whatever you guys want to call it, it's not as high as Merab.
He's had so much success. He's doing so good. And I've seen him when he just moved from Georgia to New York. He was so green. You know, I'd love to say I thought he was going to be a champion when I was watching him sparring when he came to our gym and when I watched him fight his first couple of regional fights. But he made so many mistakes that I didn't know if you'd be able to ever come out of that. You know, I mean, he would get into body locks with guys and just throw himself to his own back. He was still the machine, but the machine was like malfunctioning. He became a super smart machine over the years, and it's crazy to see. I've never seen somebody who's constantly improving. You know, I'm just so happy for this kid.
But I do feel that if he does go up to 145 pounds, I think he could beat Alexander Volkanovski. I really do, man. If he's been able to do that to the majority of all of us, bro, imagine him feeling even better up a weight division. He could bring some problems to Volkanovski or anybody at 145 pounds, dude.
His right-hand man, the newlywed Aljamain Sterling, is a prominent featherweight contender right now, like it or not, for some fans, right? So he's not going to move to 145 pounds anytime soon. But a Dvalishvili Volkanovski fight would be absolutely massive. And if the goal, as Rogan sort of intimated at the end of the post-fight interview, is to challenge Merab, that's like Kenny Florian just said, folks, that's where Merab would run into some problems. That's what we're looking for.
Right.
We're looking for this guy who's chasing down Mount Rushmore types at this point in time. You know, like Merab slipped and called himself the GOAT at the press conference, just talking about himself being the bantamweight GOAT. You know, I don't blame you for slipping, right? It's like you pull up your own Wikipedia page and it's like, oh, yeah.
Merab has cemented himself greatest bantamweight of all time. Obviously, he's on a crazy win streak right now, 14. Broke a record, first to 100 takedowns or some shit. Most takedowns in a 5-round fight.
Yeah, he broke a couple,
just
2 or 3 last night.
Absolute fucking machine. What a name for him too, just the machine.
What if he's not even real, dude? So what if he's not even real, dude?
He might not be. God, that's what I've heard how he trains. He shows up 30 minutes late, doesn't really warm up. Like, he works hard. It's so fucking frustrating. I'm like, I try to eat perfect, sleep perfect, do all this shit perfect, get to the gym 30 minutes, warm up, break sweat before, try to do all this shit right, and this motherfucker just comes in and he's just built different. He's a freak. Good for him. Honestly, I never really hated Merab. You know, when we fought, I had a little, you know, you're fighting this guy, blah, blah, whatever. But how do you not like Merab? How do you not like him?
I'm impressed by, even in his post-fight, Merab said it. He said, hey, I feel like I'm just starting. And I felt this way myself. Once I became champion, I'm like, oh, I'm still learning new tricks. I know how to line guys up now and put them away. I know all these things now. And you're seeing that from Merab. He's getting more and more dangerous with his striking. And let's not just talk the striking. Let's talk about his defense. Merab is moving his head. He's slipping shots. Look at Merab moving his head, slipping shots. Great defense, sliding back, right back on the pressure. Look at that. He looked great. He's following up, not just one shot. He's following up, 1, 2, 3. I was very thoroughly impressed by Merab.
Look at the list of killers that he's beaten. This isn't just any names. These are some of the most impressive mixed martial artists on the planet. And based on what they've done in their careers and based on their skills, Merab's just different, man. It is amazing to see what he's accomplished since his first fight in UFC to where he's at now.
Yeah.
It's just such an amazing story and should inspire so many other mixed martial artists that are trying to get into the UFC, that are currently in the UFC. It is possible. It is possible to change your whole career. It takes a hell of a lot of work and belief and determination, but Merab's living proof, man. It's such a great story.
That weight, the pacing, the way he has made a weapon out of pace. Randy Couture was the first to do it in our sport. That was kind of the Dan Gable idea, but Randy brought it to MMA. Passed that torch to St. Pierre, who passed that torch to Khabib, and now you've got Merab. I mean, I'm mentioning the absolute most elites in 30 plus years of watching this, but they can just do more than you can. They can just throw more than you can. Fighting ultimately is a dance. In that, one person leads at a time. Both guys can't be leading. One guy's got to be protecting, then he comes on his offense, and you pass this back and forth, which you have to do unspokenly because nobody has the cardio to go 25 minutes in that direction until now. Merab does do that.
Again, you might be looking at the best guy ever in that weight class. The fact that he doesn't have as many title defenses doesn't mean anything to me anymore. The win streak is absurd, and he's just paving over this division. And you're now at a point where he's winning, and you're like, I don't even know who in this division could even give him trouble. Dude, I tell you what, you know what the two best fights for Merab are right now? Pantoja Merab. I know Pantoja's got business to attend to with Josh Van, so we'll see. But it's either assuming he wins that, which he might not, but let's say it's Pantoja Merab or Merab Volk. What does that tell you? That the most interesting fights available to a guy, and we talked about this at heavyweight, they're super fights. That's what's left. He is a wrecking crew to divisional health.
Yeah, Merab is a goblin. He's half goblin. I mean, he's wild, man. He's got great cardio. He's really learning the game in terms of he knows what he can get rid of, what he can get away with on the feet in comparison to what he can do on the ground. In terms of his wrestling, he's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Everyone else in UFC history, if they fail takedowns and don't get what they want from takedowns like that, they're fucking exhausted. Merab, it's not even that he has double their cardio or triple. He genuinely has like 10 times the cardio reserves of anyone I've ever seen shoot that many takedowns before. We see fighters all the time, they'll shoot 3 and not get what they want out of it, and all of a sudden it's, oh my god, I'm gassing. He'll do that for ages. He'll do that for another 4 rounds. And there's no heavy breathing at the end of the fight. I don't think he's on anything. I truly think he's built different.
There's this, like I said at the top, I hate this thing about the GOAT, but as much as like my nostalgia and my heart is with Dominic Cruz, I don't really think it's a conversation anymore now, Pete. I really think he's the greatest bantamweight champion of all time, and I don't really think that it's a debate. Like, there's a lot of times that we bring this stuff up and it's like, 14 in a row, another title defense, his 3rd title defense of the calendar year, which has never happened before for a bantamweight, and only 8 times in UFC history has it happened before, period. He's trying to get on the December card to make it 4. I mean, what more can you say about this guy?
Like, it's just different, dude. You know, Corey's a very dangerous fighter, and I really did have Corey winning this fight, but it just lets me know, dude, who the fuck I lost to in Merab and how good he is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he is the greatest bantamweight of all time. He's beaten more world champions than anybody in the bantamweight division in history.
He needed 3 more takedowns in this fight to hit the 100 takedown mark in the UFC. Well, now he's got 117 takedowns because he didn't get 3 takedowns. He got 20 takedowns. He became the first person to hit 10 takedowns in 5 different UFC fights. Merab Dvalishvili is an insane talent. He is the greatest bantamweight fighter that the sport has ever seen.